Now, here's George Roberts.
I'm with Dr. Frank Romascavage here in Brodheadsville, and Doc Frank, you've been here for 40 plus years in the community, serving the area as a family physician, but I don't know how many people know that you actually grew up here and went to Pleasant Valley High School.
George, you're absolutely right. I graduated from Pleasant Valley High School in 1968. Okay, so you can do the math later. You'll figure out how old I am, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so anyway, long-time resident here. Grew up here, went to high school, Pleasant Valley. Went to East Stroudsburg University, Temple University, and then I did my med school in City Line Avenue in Philadelphia.
And then long ways, you went to emergency room, you worked there, but then you weren't fulfilled there. You decided that you really wanted to be able to have patients that you could follow and keep up on their progress. So you decided to open up a practice here in Brodheadsville.
Right, George, absolutely right. This place where I'm at right now, I've been here since 1984. I was an ER doc, Philadelphia area. Loved it. I enjoy it. I've seen and done everything as far as an ER physician goes. But came to the point though, well, you know, you have a family, this, that, whatever, and I knew there was a big calling, a big need for a physician back here in my hometown area.
Sure.
So in 1984, I came back here in the building that you're in right now. My dad was a general contractor. He built it, everything from soup to nuts, and here we are today.
You got everything you need. Well, here's one thing that a lot of people might not know about you, and that is your connection with WWE.
Right.
And for many years, you were a doctor that would help when these events were happening. They had you there on site.
Absolutely right, George.
How did that all come about?
One day I got a phone call from a boxing promoter, not wrestling, boxing promoter, to do an amateur boxing show. They needed a doctor to do the event. And that was in 1987, if I recall. And I had no idea what that was involved, but I like the athleticism attitude of using my medical degree in that direction. So what happened is I wound up doing that, and through time, I wound up doing professional boxing, where I've been on ESPN, USA, and I went into pro shows where I've done that for many, many years too.
Now the reason you're there is because if somebody gets hurt, they need a doctor right there.
Absolutely right, and they do get hurt. Okay, from amateur boxing as well as from professional boxing.
Sure.
It comes to the point where I was offered, okay, because of how avid I was and my sincerity towards boxing, I was offered the chance and opportunity to become the Olympic doctor for the United States Olympic team.
Wow.
Okay, and I was all set up to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado for the training, okay? And I was set up because of recommendations of what I could do as a physician. Because I would sew the guys up on the ringside, I would do care of my, I had an impeccable reputation. One particular night, and I'll never forget this as long as I live, I'm boxing, I'm gun-ho. I was going out to Colorado Springs. I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm gonna go out there. I love the idea. I want to be the Olympic fight doctor.
Right.
Why not?
Right, exactly.
Why not? I loved it.
Right.
So anyway, one particular night, they had an event. It was in Fernwood. We know where the old Fernwood was.
That's right, in Bushkill. Yeah.
WWF was there that night.
Okay.
Okay. They needed a doctor. So at the time, the commissioner, state commissioner out of Harrisburg, calls me up. He says to me, Frank, do you like wrestling? Well, I said, what do you mean like wrestling? Like college wrestling? What are you talking about?
Right.
He says, no, wrestling on TV like WWF. I said, I love that stuff. He said, well, they need a doc that night at Fernwood. Would you go? I said, absolutely, I'll be there in a heartbeat. So the night of the event comes, here I go, I show up the night of the event, and as I open the doors and I see all these, it's like a Field of Dreams type moment.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Everybody you saw on TV or you
is right there.
Right there.
You know what I mean? The Samoans, I saw like, oh my God, Kevin Nash, I see Shawn Michaels, I see everybody there. And I just going, oh my God, I can't believe this is like a Field of Dreams moment. After doing many, many events, okay, down the line, I became actually like their official doctor, WWF, out of Connecticut, Stamford, Connecticut, where they sent me everywhere. And I always tell people, they say, what was your litmus test? How did it happen? What do you think the deciding moment was? And I said, if I had to pick one event, it was one January day, it was snowing like heck, and there was about 2 foot of snow at the time on the roads. And they had an event in Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, now in the state of Pennsylvania, you need a physician at every event, whether it's boxing, karate, kickboxing, whether it's WWF, any type of amateur wrestling, you have to have a doctor there by mandate. Okay. So anyway, I said, oh my God, they need a doctor. So they called me up, can you go? Can you make it? I said, we'll be there. No problem. So when I got back, things seemed to really lay down my direction for what they were planning for me. Okay, so every event, or whatever, it became more and more like that, where I became more and more interested in doing like the physicals for them, where they would have me go everywhere, all the pay-per-views. I was going to the pay-per-views, and my family was there. My daughter, my son, my wife were there too, and we would do everything. Wow. Draw their blood, EKGs, everything on them on mandates.
Sure. And a lot of people would think that the wrestling, everything's planned out. They know what they're going to do and this sort of thing. And in some instances, it's like an act or entertainment. But the reality is they still get hurt.
Listen,
that's why you need to be there.
Exactly. When they fall off that ladder, or when they have that chair hit them over the back or whatever, that's real. That's real. 100% real. Yeah. Okay. And in my time, there's been a few people that have died wrestling.
They're almost like stunt actors.
Yeah.
In a way, they know how to do certain things.
And I see your point, George. But I say, I tell people this. I said, look, you have to remember one thing. Okay, it takes a lot to be a professional wrestler. Mm-hmm. It's an unbelievable amount of criterion that you have to pass and be good at. Number one, you have to be able to talk. You have to be able to talk on TV and talk on an interview without even blinking an eye, number one. Number two is you have to have the look. You have to have that certain look. You have to have every muscle look the right way, okay?
Sure.
Number three of it is you have to be a great athlete. Run, jump, you have to be in great shape.
That's right.
Because these guys are on the road between 300 and 330 times a year.
You are still involved with the wrestling, and you've got a lot of, memorabilia that people have given to you over the years because of all the help you've given them, the friendships that you've created, and I think we should take a moment to look at some of that.
Throughout the years, I've created a lot of unbelievably great friendships to this very day. I still medically doctor some of the people personally. They'll fly from here, there, everywhere, come here personally. Mm-hmm. Everybody asks me the question, well, how are the McMahons? Well, I want to tell you something. They treated us like royalty. About Vince, Linda, and their two kids, okay, Stephanie and Shane, treat us like royalty. They would say, hey, we need you to go to Boston. Well, we'll have and they'd bring a limo right to my back door here, fly me, bang, 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 and it was like that. It was unbelievable. I can only say the best of best, but that's why I always tell people, they treat us like gold. I have no questions ever about it.
With Dr. Frank Romascavage here in Brodheadsville, we were talking about his career as a physician for the WWE, the wrestlers, boxing, and all that. And Frank, on display here in your office, you have all this memorabilia. Right here we have some outfits. What do we have going on here?
Well, these are outfits of when I was a physician with WWF. For example, right here's Owen Hart. He was probably my best friend of all the wrestlers I ever knew and met in my lifetime. Owen Hart, by the way, passed in 1999 in a horrific accident that happened at a pay-per-view. Wow. Okay, during the filming or whatever. So he died on the spot. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, throughout our great friendship, I mean, I know him very well. I've been to his house. He's up in Calgary, Canada, the whole bit like that. And these guys have been here many, many times throughout the years. This right here. And that's his brother-in-law, Davey Smith, who also passed.
You call him the British Bulldog?
Yeah, British Bulldog. That was his brother-in-law. Okay, and I mean, two of the nicest people you ever meet in your life, but they're both in heaven now. People get hurt. They get hurt a lot. Yeah. I've sewed them all up. A lot of these guys once and a couple times from ring accidents to what have you.
Let's go take a look at some of the other things here. I'm sure people come into the office.
Sure.
And they must wonder about this, and I'm sure they ask questions sometimes. This is the Bret Hitman Hart.
Right. Well, Bret Hitman Hart, that was Owen's brother, okay? And here's another Owen outfit right there. He gave me one of his outfits there where it says the Hitman right there, you can see. Mm-hmm. And, just a symbol, there's his glasses on top there, his shirt, his whole outfit, whatever. And that one night, he needed a place to stay. He had no place to stay at night after the event. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, come on up here, you stay with us. And that really meant a lot to him. I put the guy up and all this and that. So he said the next day, he says, what do I owe? I said, you owe me nothing. He said, you want a pair of trunks for the wall? And there they are. There they are, right there.
Okay? Signed and everything.
Signed.
What's on this side here?
Now, this is the big billboard right here, okay? And if you can see right here, you look at the top one, the referee shirts, okay? Those are the Hebner boys. Okay, Earl and Dave Hebner. Okay. Well, Earl is with us. David passed a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. But the thing of it is they were both icons in the business, okay? You'll see them, throughout legendary shows of the best referees ever in WWF were these two guys right there. No questions about it. But the best time is back in the day when I was the WWF doc, these people would come here when this was like the center point. Okay, we would come here, we'd go to Hershey, we'd go to Wilkes-Barre, we'd go to Madison Square Garden, we'd go to Jersey, Brenda Byrne Arena, we'd go out to Hershey. Oh my God, we'd even go out to Penn State. And these guys would come here for maybe 3-4 days straight, spend the night here. And I used to tell them, I said, listen, you're going to come out to the office in the morning and see the patients.
Yeah.
And these guys would come out in the morning, and people come out. It's like, oh my God, what's this all about?
Yeah.
And people would be all sick. I would stop seeing patients, and the best cure was for these guys to all hug photos and all that. And that's how it was. But those were great days from that point of view. From that, how fans became really, should I say, engaged on that.
So Frank, we're in the hall of outfits and memorabilia. This is an interesting hallway here. You've got some really cool things from, I guess, all different types of athletes, right?
Yeah, George, we sure as heck do. You know what? Because these are all WWF outfits from people that have wrestled with WWF, WWE, as it's now called, what have you. Like right over here, that's Mick Foley. You know,
which one here?
Right here. This is his right here. Right here. This is Mick Foley.
This one here.
This is called Dude Love.
Okay.
And he was a character. He was a great friend. Okay, I make a long story short with him is he had 3 different characters he portrayed.
Oh, okay? Really?
Yeah, and there's his mandible claw that he used to put down people's throats at the end and all that. And it was just like one of them. Okay,
yeah.
But here's all of his outfits that he gave me. Because it was 98. Okay, it was King of the Ring in Pittsburgh. Okay. Make a long story short is you'll see me in that pay-per-view. Okay, whereby he went through and whatever he's bleeding in his mouth and I sewed his whole face up for him and whatever. You'll see me in the end of that pay-per-view.
Well, you've got a lot of TV time.
Oh, I did. George, I did.
On pay-per-view and everything.
Not as much as you, George, but yeah, okay, but you know what I mean. That's right. But it's all good. But anyway,
what's the one behind you here?
Yeah.
You were telling me these.
This right here.
Yeah, the Midget World
right.
Order.
This is Little Mania. Now
Okay.
I'm the physician for those guys. They go just like McMahon's did. Okay, with WWF. These guys go over the whole country, all 50 states.
Even here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They even stop here
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely. But I have to give them their physicals, their blood tests, A to Z, so they can be wrestling appropriately and legitimately in those all different states.
And we have the renowned #1 on-site doctor, over 30 years, from the top pros to the little wrestlers. He cares about the sport. He's here tonight. He's a local phenomenon. Let's give it up for the one and only Dr. Frank Romascavage in the house. He's got his lovely wife, Gloria, his daughter, Stacy, and little Frankie in the house.
These guys, they get hurt too, and they get banged around, and they perform, and they're excellent athletes. They have to be, but in great shape they have to be.
Any other interesting outfits here?
Like up here, there's the Brooklyn Brawler. Okay, and he was, icon for WWF for many, many years too. And then here's Tammy Seach. You'll see her and her husband, who passed. Okay, he's right there too. I know those guys, the Body Donis they used to call them.
Fans of wrestling know who these people are.
They know them like the back of your hand, George.
Wow. Personal museum here. Look at these.
Yeah, George, I appreciate that.
This is amazing.
And if you look over here, you can see the Wild Samoans. Then over here was the Blue Meanies there, right there. And over here is Gene Snitsky. He's a local kid. He lives out in Hamburg now.
People
Gene's a good
talk
guy.
about Gene.
Yeah, that's him right there. And over here, I want to show you that painting there, George. I don't know if you saw that painting. That painting there, everybody said to me, why is that painting there? Well, that painting it's like a cubistic type of painting, right? So, I don't know if you ever heard of Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy him and his brother Matt Hardy are 2 of the nicest guys. I've known they're from North Carolina. And I've known both of those guys for many, many years when they were amateurs. And they went up to high. But anyway, throughout the years, Jeff, helped him out, got him all stabilized, when he got hurt and all that. So he mailed me this, that's his painting.
Nice.
Yeah, and I said, wow, it really surprised me when I got that. I said, wow, that's unbelievable. And if you look over here, that's Shawn Michaels. Okay, Shawn Michaels, I was at WrestleMania up in Boston, make a long story short, and here's his outfit, what I did. Shawn Michaels, everybody wants that outfit. Hey, they all want every outfit.
Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah, Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Oh yeah, big time.
I'm sure people ask you, do you want to sell any of these? Do you want to?
Yeah, well, I just kindly tell them, listen, they're not for sale. I have been offered unbelievable monies for outfits. But I tell them politely and right to the point, I said, this is a friend thing. This ain't about making money. This is about a friend thing.
Yeah.
Respect.
Sure.
And that's how we leave it.
Dr. Frank Romascavage here in Brodheadsville. Besides being a family physician, Frank, you've been involved with being a physician for boxing, for wrestling, WWF, WWE. Right. We've seen a lot of the memorabilia, and you still have even more and more things. These are amazing. They're heavy too. These are actual belts.
George, they're the
real ones.
The authentic belts that I was given by my friends, with WWF back in the day. Actually, the women's championships, International Continental Championship, and you can see even on the other chair to your left, there's different belts there, designs that were given to me throughout the years from the authentic value of the belt, and that's great gift. Great gift, to say the least, okay?
Movie posters.
That's right.
Whose movie posters are these?
Well, George, I'll tell you what. Throughout the years, this is from Dwayne Johnson. Okay, Dwayne the Rock, aka the Rock. Okay, we stayed and be great friends throughout the years, and to this very day, same way. And throughout the years, he would send me just randomly all of his movies, and he would sign off the posters for me and send them to me. Now, one of these days, I got to put them behind a nice frame and all that, which obviously I haven't done that yet.
When you look at all this memorabilia, and we have a guitar here. We have a seat, King of the Ring. I'm sure this brings back a lot of memories from these events that you were at. Right.
Well, King of the Ring was that was from the big, probably one of the biggest defining moments that I ever did medically was on Mick Foley. It was the Undertaker Mick Foley match in 1998. Okay, and what happened? That was the King of the Ring. Well, anyway, Mick Foley was. I mean, if you have never seen a wrestling show or a wrestling event ever, go on YouTube and see that event. That event is probably one of the best events in all of wrestling. Okay. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, you'll see me in the ring with him at the end. There he is laying down. He's all hunched over. He was really hurting big time. Got him out of the ring, brought him to the back room, and I sewed his whole mouth up because he was bleeding out of his mouth pretty good. And
would you say most of those events that you were at, you had to take care of somebody? Somebody's always getting hurt.
Yeah.
Just about every time.
Yeah, especially the pay-per-views, because everybody understands that you have millions of people watching you. You have a full house of people there live in vivo, but millions and millions of people are watching. They want their money's worth. They want a great product.
Sure.
And they got their great products. So I'll tell you what, because King of the Ring, and I've been, like I said before, I've been at, oh God, I was the King of the Ring. That was 98 and 99. I was in WrestleMania 15. You'll see me in that. Okay. And I was in up in Boston. I was up there WrestleMania in that too. SummerSlam, I was in that in New York City with The Rock. Okay, I did a promo on him there. And just throughout the years, but people expect that. They expect a great product. And another guy we talked about earlier was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Because in '97 in Jersey, I was there, doctor there that night from there. Okay, he just really got hurt big time. Neck-wise, he was severely hurt. So anyway, Steve and I became very good friends after that night.
You'd mentioned that you had taken your family with you to a lot of these events.
Right.
That must have been a great experience, having them along, and I'm sure that they liked being a part of seeing this.
Well, it wasn't like a tag-along thing. It was like, here's how it goes, okay? My wife did all the record keeping, and I would draw all their blood, because I'm an ER guy, so drawing blood's not a big deal. So I would draw all the blood on the guys, and then I taught my son and my daughter how to do EKGs and how to do eye exams and all that. So they were all working their butts off, but we got it done. Now people always ask me, they always say to me, well, when's the first time you ever had anything medically of any big concern happen to you? Well, that happened in 1993, if I can elaborate on that point.
Sure.
And if you look over your left shoulder, you're going to see Razor Ramon's outfit. Now, for your avid wrestling fan out there, Razor Ramon is very commonly known. Okay, they had reputation, whatever it is. And it was a house show, I think it was out in Western PA. He was having a match there, and he was going against Diesel, Kevin Nash. Okay, and they had a match, and it was for a belt match, okay? Anyway, well, Kevin Nash took this belt and flung it at him and hit him right across his nose. Right through his. Now his character is exemplified with a mustache. He has to have a mustache, okay? Okay, and it's a certain style, certain color, and it has to look just the same. He can't miss a hair. I said, Razor, I said, listen, I'll fix you up. Now, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I'm going to do. I said, listen, I've been published, and which I have, in a couple of journals about how I can sew people up, whether it's the hair, beards, or mustaches without cutting, without shaving. So I'm bringing him in that like that. I said, I'll fix you up. You won't lose one hair off your face. I think it was like 10, 12 stitches in him, something like that. My technique, you couldn't even see I did. I matched the hair color of his mustache to the suture. But we became really good friends after that. And about 2 or 3 years after that, he said to me, I want to give you something. And that's that outfit on the wall right there. He said to me, he says, you have the only outfit I ever gave away is yours. And he said to me, he says, that is your outfit for what you did for me. So throughout the years, I mean, Scott's in heaven now, he passed, and unfortunately, but probably the nicest compliment he ever gave me, he got inducted to the Hall of Fame for WWF, is right before he got inducted, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and him were backstage. And they were talking about that day I sewed him up.
Do you feel like you've fulfilled a lot of your dreams, Frank? That things you've wanted to do over the years?
Yeah, you know, George, that's a great question. And people ask me, well, what are you going to do? Well, like I said before, I've been here 41 years as a doc. People say, are you going to retire? I says, I'm having fun. I love what I do. I'm addicted to what I do as a doctor, okay? But number two is the fact that, I've even outreach to like doing karate shows. I've doctored a bunch of them throughout my time. I even do MMA. I've done MMA, okay, and I love that. You're in the octagon after every match. They're always hurt, but they're that type of athletes too, okay. But have I fulfilled it? Wait and see. I just make every day great. That's what I do, and all this and that. But am I going to keep on going? Absolutely, I'm going to keep doing it, okay. Because have I fulfilled it? You could argue both ways. Do I want to do more? I want to do more. Why? I love what I do. I'm addicted to what I do, and so it's a part of me. That's why I'm doing it.
Frank, great. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, George, you are always welcome. Always welcome. You know better than that.
Thanks.
Always, always, always welcome.